So, as a journalist in LA, I've noticed that there are homeless people everywhere. Everybody and their mama, right, are now living on the street. They're even bringing the illegal aliens in and dumping them on the streets, and then they ask us for more money to pay for it. What do you think about the homeless crisis that in America today?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure what you're referring to when you say they're bringing illegal immigrants in and dumping them on the street.
Well, they made this state so-called sanctuary state, and then the government, the Democratic government, offered them free everything, free housing, free this, free driver's license, free health care. So they're seducing these people to come, and they end up on the streets. Why is that?
Well, Jesse, I don't think that's what's happening. People come.
Sanctuary state?
We are a sanctuary state, but I don't agree with
inviting the homeless illegal aliens to come in?
inviting them how?
By seducing them with free stuff.
Oh, well, look, immigrants, legal and illegal, are barred from getting many government assistance programs.
You said they are.
They are barred.
And when did that happen?
That's been the case since some of these programs were created. You have to be in this country for many years. You have to have a certain immigration residency status to be eligible for many of these programs.
They offer them, and I know for a fact that they're getting free education, they're getting free houses, they're getting free food, free health care, driver's license. What else can we give them? We don't have anything else to give.
Well, let's unpack that sort of point by point. One thing, free education. The educational system, K to 12 in this country, is free at the classroom.
But not for illegals.
It's free for everybody who's a resident, and the reason we do that is because it's to everybody's benefit. Whether you are native born or a legal immigrant or an illegal immigrant, it's to the community's benefit to have educated members. Let's talk about healthcare. You don't want people in your community to be sick. You don't want them to contract communicable diseases. You don't want your child going to school with somebody who can't get health care and who brings a disease and sheds a virus in the classroom. Healthcare is a benefit for the entire community.
But I don't want that, but I also don't want to pay for it. I want them to be responsible for themselves. Should I have to pay for it?
Yes, you should have to pay for it because it's a benefit to you.
But how about the illegal aliens who are coming in? They're bringing diseases and crimes and drugs and...
Well, all right. First of all, the crime...
Should I pay my tax dollars for them?
Crime among the illegal immigrant population is, in fact, the crime rate is lower than it is for the native-born population.
But only because there are more American
people
right now.
No, the crime rate.
But should I have to pay for one illegal to come in and bring drugs and crimes and diseases and stuff? Should my tax dollars go for an illegal alien?
I think your picture of what an illegal alien is here, why an illegal alien has come here, is not true.
What do you mean?
Well, people come here to work.
No.
Go to Home Depot, you can see them collecting in the parking lot. They are looking for work. They have a lower crime rate than the native-born population. They are here to work. Why do we want them to have driver's licenses? Do we want
It's possible for them to have a lower crime rate because they're breaking the law to come here, so they've already broken the law.
You're talking about street crime, drug use, that sort of thing.
But I'm talking about breaking the law to come too. We shouldn't reward criminals for breaking the law, right?
Well, look, we reward illegal aliens in many different ways because we employ them.
So should we reward them for breaking the law?
They are here. We need to provide them with services that benefit the entire community. Why do we give them driver's licenses? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes.
Well, all right. We give them driver's licenses because that's a way to make sure that they are trained to drive. They don't get driver's licenses just by asking for it. They have to pass the test.
So,
do you want drivers on the road with you who are driving without any training without having passed a test, or do you want to be safer?
I would want to drive them back home, back to the country, not here, period. Does it make sense to you to reward a criminal? They break into your house and then you reward them. Personally, does that make sense to you? Not as a journalist, as an individual. Does that personally make sense to you?
I don't think we are rewarding them for coming here. We are making sure that once they are here, they can develop into members of the community, and that's what I want. I want them to be productive members of the community.
I'm asking you not as a journalist, as a human being.
That's how I'm responding.
Personally makes sense to you that these people come into our country illegally, and rather than sending them back, we reward them. Does that make sense?
I think we need to basically deal with reality. They're here, they're coming here, they are coming to work, and they are getting employed.
Answering the question, I'm asking you, does that personally make sense to you as an adult male, an individual, that these people are coming in illegally and we're rewarding them? Does that make logical sense?
I don't know what you mean by rewarding them.
By giving them driver's license, freestyle, taking care of them, and all that.
We are
Does
taking
that
care
make
of the.
logical sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
So if somebody broke into your house, rather than putting them in jail, you would reward them?
No, that is a completely different situation.
Our country is our home. How is that different?
Well, I think that's sort of a rhetorical point. That doesn't reflect the reality.
What?
They are here. It's, if you want to round them up and send them home, that would cost a lot more than it costs to provide them with the support they need to become members and to remain members of the community.
I don't want them to become members. I want
Well-
to round them up and send them.
Well, they're
In
here.
the long run, isn't it cheaper to do it that way?
No, in the long run, it is more expensive.
No, because they're forever.
The fact is, we need immigrants in this. We do need them.
Black people to do the jobs.
Even if every black of working age was employed, we would still need immigrants because we do not have enough to actually.
Amazing. I've noticed that when these illegals come in, they end up in the urban areas first. They eventually end up in the white suburban everywhere, right?
Well, illegal aliens come in and they work in the agricultural districts.
They end up in the black community first, and they're taking jobs from the blacks. They're running them out of their own communities because they hate the blacks. They are overcrowding the public schools. There are black women who are citizens when they go to have a baby and they need the government facilities, hospitals or whatever. They can't get in because there are long lines of illegal aliens in there having babies for free. Does it bother you that illegal aliens are affecting blacks first and foremost? Are you bothered by that?
I'm not sure I agree with your.
If it's true, would you be bothered by that?
Well, I can't be bothered or not bothered by a hypothetical.
But
I mean, if you want to talk,
have you gone to Compton, California, or Watts, or East LA? The blacks have been forced out of their own community, and the Mexicans are taking over, especially illegal aliens. Are you bothered by that?
well, how do you know that the Mexicans who are moving into these communities are illegal?
Communities, and I know that they're illegal. I have Mexican friends who are telling me all the time that the illegals are taking over. Are you bothered that they are affecting the blacks first and foremost?
Well, as I said, I think you're presenting me with a hypothetical. I don't.
I'm not.
Well, all I can say is I don't see evidence in the numbers that that's really happening.
From that, you're a journalist. Why are you not seeing that?
Well, I'm not seeing it because I don't think it's so.
So I want to ask: are you worried about the outbreak of typhus and things like that that's happening right now as a result of all these illegals coming in?
I'm worried about the outbreak of typhus, but I'm not. But I don't see any evidence that it's actually associated with illegal
But we
immigrants.
only started to get it because we were done with that stuff. And once we let these people cross the borders unchecked, they're bringing in diseases, and I call them illegal alien diseases. Why is it that you can't see that?
First of all, what the numbers show is that the typhus pandemic that we're seeing now is developed recently, but it developed at a time when illegal immigration has been falling.
No.
Yes. Yes.
You're just starting to hear about it because it's becoming an outbreak, but It's been there for a while. I've been known about it and aware of it for a while. It's just now so many people getting it, it's becoming like an emergency situation. But it just started when the illegal aliens things started to increase. What's the solution to that?
The solution to what exactly?
All these illegal alien diseases coming in.
Well, I don't see, I have not seen any evidence that illegal aliens are bringing in diseases on that scale.
The problems that we're having now, were they created by liberal policies or conservative policies?
Which problems are you talking
With
about?
the overwhelming illegal aliens coming in, the crime, the drugs, the homelessness, the violence against white people, you name it, is there now. Were those situations created by liberal policies or conservative?
Look, Jesse, I think you're painting a picture that's just distorted.
But it's the
I think-
Democrats who are running the state, right?
The Democrats are running this state.
Right.
Yes,
So
but
the
but
problem
as
we
I
have
said,
in California, are they created by liberal policies or conservative?
well, which problems again are you talking
Illegal
about?
aliens and crimes and homelessness and drugs.
Look, the crime
violence.
rate is falling. The rate of drug use is falling. People come here legally or illegally because they want to work. They are not coming here to commit crime. They're not coming here
What world
to
are you
take
living
drugs.
in? Where you live?
I'm living in the real world.
Well, where, do you live in the suburbs somewhere?
I do live in the suburbs,
Oh,
yes.
so you're protected from it, no wonder.
Just because I live in the suburbs
is
doesn't
it
mean
like?
that I'm unfamiliar
I know
with
that you don't
conditions in
have
the
to-
inner
You
city.
don't have to suffer for it because you're protected behind the gated fence with the bodyguard. And the
I
guard.
don't have a fence around my house and I don't have a
But you
bodyguard.
are protected in the suburb, right? You're not here to mess with us with it.
You know, there's a freeway system in this community. Anybody can get to my,
I know,
to
but
my
the issue
community.
is you're not bothered by it because you're out there somewhere. Well, we're right in the midst of it, right?
Yeah, but I just think you are painting a distorted picture of why immigrants are here, why they come here illegally. They come to work, and they do work.
So are these issues created by liberal policies or conservative?
Well, as I said, I don't think these are issues. I don't think your picture of the issues is an accurate
Are
one.
you an honest man?
I think I am, yes.
Are you a Christian?
No,
What are you?
I'm Jewish.
So do you believe in God?
Yes.
How can you believe in God and not admit what is happening?
What does one thing have to do with the other?
You act like you're not aware of the emergency situation with the illegal aliens and the homelessness and why these things are happening. Why are you acting that way if you believe in God?
I don't think belief in God has anything to do with my perception of the reality out there.
Oh, so God doesn't give you a true reality of things?
No, I think God does give me a true reality. That's the
Why
point
are
I'm
you
making.
denying them then if you believe in God?
Why do I disagree with your picture of the reality.